Good evening, everyone. So, welcome all the participants. So, myself, Daniel, currently working as a senior research fellow in IT Delhi. So, I will be the research person for today and tomorrow session. So, today we will be learning about how to writing the literature review article, and tomorrow we will be learning about some of the tools that require to write the literature review article. Okay, like citation tools, then various other tools we will be learning. So first, for writing literature article, there are some basics. If you first 2-3 slides will be some basics, then there will be some steps like how to write by step procedure in a easier way. Okay, so how even some of the academic consultants, how they are writing this kind of thing, and even many PhD scholars, many faculty, they are using these options for writing their literature article little bit easier. Okay. But if you are a research scholar, if you are a participant, those who are here maybe a research scholar, so to write a good literature article, it will take till your completion of your PhD, so that you will be more expert in your area of research work. So it will be more easier. Okay, but still we need to do literature review in your earlier tenure during your first year, maybe doing your research work. You need to do the literature review. So some of the advantages are there in literature review. Even so many advantages were there. So that we will be learning, and some of the steps we will be learning, and how to make some figures. If you are taking some figures from other literatures, and how you will be doing the citation work. So each and everything we will be learning, step-by-step procedures. Okay. So now we'll learn something about the basics. What is review? Review is a formal assessment, like something, any changes. Okay. Today maybe I may be finding some device. Okay. So tomorrow, if somebody may be doing some changes in that, and they are finding something new, novel, and then another, for example, if you see a mobile phone, if you see like about 20 years ago, the mobile phone is a little bit different, and now we can see the advancement in the technology happens, and a lot of changes were there. Okay. So when these works has been going to publications, this kind of findings, okay, this kind of research, some novel work, some concepts, some ideas, they are going to get published. Okay, so people used to, we will be reading that article in various, what is the methodology they have done, what is the objective of their research work, what is the results they have got, what findings, what they have concluded, and how they have done the discussion part, and what is the graph they have plotted, what is the flowcharts there, what is the tabulation they have tabulated. So each and everything will be going through. So this is kind of an assessing and existing kind of published article. Okay, it's a literature. And book review is a critical appraisal of book and film which is published in a newspaper or a magazine. And literature review is a collection of all scholarly writing on a topic, and a systematic method for identifying, evaluating, and interpreting the work produced by the scholars, researchers, and practitioners quite earlier. Okay, so literature is kind of telling a story. It's kind of chain story where each writer starts with the partial story that the previously whatever has been done. Okay, and the existing literature is the story so far, and your idea will be connected to the knowledge developing network in the field because of this literature. I have connected with various researchers in my area of expertise through this literature review. And some of the 4 reasons for doing the literature review is like to focus on previous research. So in previously, what is the research has been done by the earlier researchers, and what are all their ideas, and how they made those ideas creative, and what type of policies they made, what type of practice they have handled. So each the earlier works, okay, in simple, and how your study fills the gap. Obviously, there are some. See, for example, if you are having this Zomato, Swiggy, Dunsu, and so and so. So earlier there are some gaps that people, those who are staying from, for example, if I'm being from Chennai and currently I'm in Delhi, so if suddenly I want to have some kind of South Indian foods, so there are some of the shops like Sangam Restaurant, Adair Anandapur. So just I can book in Swiggy or Zomato, and I can have taste those foods. Okay. So earlier I need to search that where, and I need to go there. It takes time, travel, all those things. So there are some of the advantages. There are some gap is there. So somebody has filled that gap through making some like developing a new app. Okay. Developing some new app, even like Ola and some of the cabs you can find. right? Before cabs, before these Ola, Uber, and all those things were there, still those cabs were there, but now it is, if so many people are using those gaps, somebody's gaps has been fulfilled. Okay, in research also somewhere some gaps, so many gaps are there. Still, so many gaps are there. Okay, if you see, when if simple example, you can compare with some of the technology with some other country, even you will be finding so many gaps, which is not there in our country. So some technology may be there in our country, will not be there in some other country. Okay, so such a way, these are some of the gaps. Okay, and the necessity and rationality of your study. So does it make sense whether your research work, and why it is important, how it is completely novel? So novel is the first question asked by many reviewers when you are submitting your articles. Some reviewers currently they are asking that they will send you 2-3 articles. Similar work is already done. So what is something new in your article? So how you are going to justify those questions? Okay. So when you do some literature review, you can get some new idea, and using some new methodology, you will be solving some good problems. Okay. And see the boundaries of your study. Determine the scope, like kind of objective. Your objective should be more specific. Okay. Obviously, when you are going through literature, you will be able to find more number of literatures. You will be finding more number of literatures. But the main thing is that you will be having more number of problems. You will be getting more number of objectives. But during your research tenure, you cannot able to do everything. Okay. So certain objectives you need to focus, and in depth you need to go on it, and you need to solve some problems. And some of the other reasons doing the literature review is like you will be knowing that what needs to be done, and till now what has been done. Till now, today some article is published, right? So till now what has been done. So these information, then identifying the relationship between the ideas and practice, establishing the context of topic and problem, and enhancing and acquiring the subject vocabulary, ideas and theory. Some theoretical background will be there. Any experiment or any type of research work, you can find some theoretical background, right? Some kind of theorems or some kind of concepts, some kind of data managing will be there, some kind of analysis will be there. Any discipline, depends upon the discipline, it may vary. Okay. And research techniques you will be learning. And this, while you are reading some of the literatures, you will be getting some new ideas. Okay. So when you are reading like 10 articles, you will be having an idea that okay, this methodology can be used in this article, it may give some good results. Okay, you can exchange how it may be if you are using this in this and that in this, right? So you may be having some new concepts or new ideas, and if you are using in the other concepts, how the results may be increase or decrease, right? Then develop your skills will be improved, your research skills will be improved, and finally to avoid the duplication work. Today I have done some research work and I published. Will you do the same work again tomorrow? Obviously no. Okay. So if you go through some literatures, you can able to find those things. And some of the other output purpose of literature review is, for a PhD student, this is kind of an important requirement for the PhD. In the interim stages, they want to during the interim stages of PhD registration, this literature review and comprehensive IO is must during currently in many institutes. Okay. And if you are doing some good literature review, and while you are doing the literature review, if you are taking some good notes, okay, this can be converted as a chapter, and obviously any thesis you can find literature review chapter. Any thesis you can find a literature review chapter, so that these works can be converted as a chapter in your thesis. Okay. Then to improve your skills as a researcher, when you go through like 60 to 100 articles, right? Obviously, you may tell like during your tenure or your PhD program, you'll be telling like you have read 100, 200, what number of articles, but obviously you'll be reading some kind of 60 to 80 or 100 articles maybe. But I have read more number of abstract and conclusion during my research tenure, but the full article may be very less, like something like 40, 50 or 60, around that. Okay, because some themes, some thematic or some keywords may be in single article. Okay, I don't want to go through the whole article, only some headings alone I will be going through. So in that case, the number may be a little bit high. Okay, but not the whole article from the first to the last. It will some around 40, 50, near to that. Okay, so when you read this much number of articles, So you should read the recently published article, not the article which is earlier published so earlier. Okay. The earlier article you can read it to know some of the basics, some of the concepts and all those things. But the, the recently till now what they have done, what is the advantage in that? Some it may be a product, or it may be some kind of device, or it may be some kind of technology, it may be some kind of analysis, or it kind of any type of research works. Okay. And if you are doing a good literacy review, you can name, for example, suddenly, as I know, as I've read this much number of articles, if you ask me, just tell some 20 researchers, expert in my research area, I will tell very fast. Jahangir said that there are so many number of articles. I can tell you because as I've gone through their number of literatures and everyone, and I have gone through their lab, their equipments. So even just going through the literatures, who are all their students and they are currently as a faculty in which institute. So these types of collaboration, you will be able to get when you are going through some good literature review. Okay. Then some of the types of literature is like primary, secondary, and tertiary. So primary is kind of original research work which is published in like journals, dissertations, like kind of thesis and conference proceedings. Secondary is kind of review articles, what you have been telling about others, whatever other they have done. And tertiary is kind of textbooks, encyclopedias, handbooks, and newspapers. And searching literature, there are some of the key terms you need to use while you are searching the literatures. Demography, languages, some researchers, because the title alone may be in English, but the full article may be in some other, maybe in like regional or some other languages. Okay, so few researchers, they used to convert those article in various translations and they are reading it, and some date ranges will be there. Like if you are reading some last 3 years, from like last 2 years or last 1 year, okay, the type of publication, whether it's a research article or a review article or a conference proceedings or a book chapter or a kind of short letters, short communication letters, okay, depends upon the publication or patents or books, okay, depends. So you need to separate and you need to go through it. Then geography region, whether the article is downloadable or not, whether the author's national was more important. I will be, if you see some of my article, you can find many Indian authors will be there, because in my entire research channel I will be getting a chance to meet them, okay, in any conference or something. But most of the international authors I have communicated, but I don't know whether in my entire lifetime I will be able to meet them or I will be able to discuss with them through any able to not. So in most of my article, the citations, obviously because international authors also, their articles also gave like more ideas, okay, but that citations also there, but give more preference for Indian national authors. Okay. Then lab facilities, we were going through the literatures, check with the graph what is the facility they have, what type of software they are using, right, the age group of the researchers, then whether how their citations were done, and funding, whether these projects, something you can find in the article itself, this work has been done through funding or their own funding, funding. Okay. And search with proper keywords, and start with recent published article and go back. Don't start from 19 or 2020, 2005, 2010, such. You don't start like that. Start from the recent published article, okay, and do the same search process in various publications. Not only in, for example, if elsewhere journals, people will be searching in Science Direct. Not only in that, you have to search in various publishers like Science Direct, Wiley, Taylor and Francis, Emerald, Sage. Right? There are so many number of good reputed publishers. You need to search in these publishers' websites and check whether you have more literature for your study or change the topic. Obviously, just change the topic. It's like very, 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 very rare case. Okay, but you obviously will be getting more number of literatures. Many researchers, they used to ask me, I don't able to find any number of literature because my work is more unique and all those things. Obviously, you'll be getting fine. It may not be the same work or same objective whatever you have done, but relevant to that, at least you'll be getting some article. Few researchers, they give me the topic and I have searched some articles, and I will be able to find like 2-3 articles. And in that 2-3 articles, obviously a minimum of 20 reference may be there. So 20 into 3 maybe some 60 reference. So if you go to that 60 reference again, you'll be getting more articles. So it will be expanded. Okay. if you get some single article also, there is a chance of getting more number of literatures. Then how to read the literatures? Keep your mind open to read. So obviously you need to get a, because if you are reading a single article one by one, and if you are reading a article maybe having a bulk of some 100 or 150 or 200 literatures in a single article, obviously you need to spend some more time on reading it, because it's kind of an merging of more number of literatures, right? Because some article may be written in a single line, some article may be written in some 2-3 sentences. Okay, so meaning, the concepts, the learning, the knowledge may be different. So you need to read with some open mind. Okay, and read, summarize, or describe each article with which type of analysis. Some article may be doing the analytical work. Some article may be mathematical, like analytical, like mathematical and numerical simulations will be there, and some article may be purely an experimental work. Some article may be like analytical, like analysis. They will be doing it like using various tools. So it depends. Yeah, depends. And strength and weakness of each research work. Any research article, you can find some strength. You will be finding while reading it, we could have done this using this sensor, or we could have done using this. Like any idea will be generated. They could have done in this or that. So that idea will be generated, right? So that strength and weakness of every article that need to be added. And choose a base paper, because the first article you are writing, obviously it will be a little bit difficult. So if you are using a base paper when you are searching the literature review, it will be more helpful. And extract the unique ideas. Extract the unique ideas or the concept of the article relevant to the topic. And look for point by point difference. Some articles same work will be done, but the software alone will be different. The software alone will be different. Some article the same work will be done. The data, who you are recording the data, the website or the company, maybe the equipment company may be different. So when you go through, and some same work will be there, but the size will be different. If you're having a device of 10 meters and if you're having the 1 meter and doing the same test, right? So some kind of difference you'll be finding in various literatures that need to be taken down. Okay, and look for qualitative and quantitative method, and the notes of each article, book, thesis, and ensure all details in it. See, if you are doing a literature review, obviously after your research done, maybe after your PhD or if you join as a faculty, for every time you don't go through any article and read and do your research work. Okay, so when you are doing, because during your PhD journal you'll be having enough time to read the literatures. Even many supervisors give like 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, more than 1 year even. Many professors give some time to read the literatures alone. Read the literatures alone. When those time is there, you should take some good notes that will be helpful to your entire research journal. Okay, and color highlight should be there. Any kind of key points or key words that should be colored. So this is the kind of working with literature. I think this will be the same thing you'll be seeing in the step by steps. And planning for literature review. Define the topic. Think about the scope, how you are going to search it. Think about the outcome, what outcome you are going to get, and think about the management, how you are going to manage it, and plan sources to be. Some of the structure of literature review article is abstract: introduction, methods, results, conclusion. Discussion, conclusion, and reference. Introduction point. So obviously you'll be start doing the citation and reference all works from here, and it will tell about how the organization pattern is going to be. For example, if you are going to do some research work, okay, so you'll be having something in your mind that what should be in the first, what you are going to explain in the first, and next what you are going to explain it, and again next what you are going to explain it. So based upon that, the introduction section also should be there. For example, in civil engineering there are some concrete, okay, the concrete buildings, concrete. So in the concrete will be there in beam, columns, right? Beam and column. So if I'm writing about beam in the first, so my literatures also will be there, like beam will be in the first and column will be in the next. Depends. Okay. See, in the introduction, such a way you need to write it. It should be in an organized manner. It should be in an organized manner. And what will be in the body of the article is contains more number of discussions, and conclusion and recommends will have like reviewing the literature so far, where you might be discussion is proceed or not. See, conclusion is also one of the important parameters. Okay, because conclusion only you'll be telling that this is the objective and you have solved that objective, you have completed that objective. Okay, and okay, this is agreements and disagreement, because some, when you are writing the literature article, when somebody is telling some new concepts of new idea, and when even though your concepts and idea may be having some issues after going through the literature, you can just, while you are writing, you can recommend the literature that the work is good, or that similarity, maybe for example, the plagiarism may be greater than 30, you can tell them. So each and everything you can communicate with them. Okay, so the literature studies you can see, not like communication in the sense like put your name, put my name in your article and I am doing this review and all those things. That is not the ethical way. Okay, the agreement, see, the professionalism should be there always. Okay, so then disagreements, like how the people, sorry, here it is. Like what author suggestion, what is the suggestion of the authors in various articles. By going through the conclusion, you can find it. What so that is some of the big agreements also will be added in the article. And so from now we will be starting like how to write the literature article. So two types of we can write the literature article. One is chronological way of writing, and another one is thematic way of writing the literature article. Chronological way is simple, as we are writing about the year. For example, the mobile phone from 1990, sorry, the phone in 1980 how it is, and in 2020, and the mobile phone is how it is. It's having a lot of features. Okay, and thematic is the chronological is such a way, and thematic is mainly if I'm having a mobile phone, I'm having button, speaker, touchscreen, battery, fingerprint, SD card, charging, motherboard, and all those informations. Okay, so now if I'm writing a research article, these are all some of my themes. Some of my themes. To search the literatures, first you need to go through the Google Scholar option. Google Scholar option, and search via Scopus Web of Science. Any tool you need to search, and you can download the article. Okay, you can search through Mendeley, even you'll be able to find open access articles. You can search through cross-reference metadata, and you can find some literatures. Okay. So the first step is searching the literatures, and the second step is you are planning to screen the literatures. The first thing is search the relevant article, more relevant literatures. Okay. And the next is read the article. Third is check the year of publication. Check the year of publication, and fourth will be the copy reference in a text in AP format, 60 articles, like minimum to maximum 180 articles. See, for an example, now we may be learning for minimum of some 60 articles. For Scopus and other journals, I think 60 may be fine. Okay, just I will take some 60 articles and start doing an like an article I'm going through. Okay, so whenever I'm going through, I should take only the APA format in the citations, okay, and copy it in text file only reference in the reference folder. Okay, open a folder name reference and just copy and paste only the reference alone, reference alone. Okay, one second. I think you can see in the screen. I request participant to wait just one minute. So my voice is audible now?
Yes, yes, sir.
Audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay. The first step is you are searching some literatures relevant to your topic. Okay. Through, even if you see in Google Scholar also, there is an option like from recently published years or from this year to this year or based upon the title. Okay. In this option you can search the literatures. Okay. And copy the reference in a API format alone and paste in a word file. I'm just searching some keyword MR fluid sedimentation and I'm clicking the API format and just pasting here. Open a word file, just paste the reference alone. See, these reference should be more relevant to your research work or the topic which you are planning to write the literature review article. The topic which you are planning, it should be more relevant, not just some random articles. It should not be. Okay. After this, now I think we'll keep as an example. You are planning to download some. Sorry, if you are copying and pasting some 60 reference, minimum of 60 reference. Okay. See, earlier it is like minimum 60. Nowadays, people those who are writing, they are taking 80, 900, more number of literatures for literature review article. For Scopus, I think some 80 to 100, that is fine for Scopus index. But if you are going for some SEA and other index, some around 250, 200 more, because just maybe the single line will be there, or single sentence will be there, and that citations will be like some same maybe available in same kind of concept or same written statements or similar idea will be shared in some 4 to 5 articles. So just they will put like 6 to 9 or some 7 to 11 or something. So 4 articles is done. So more number of literatures will be there. Okay. And you need to download all the articles. If you are having some 60 articles, download all the articles through SciHub, ResearchGate, Academia.edu or GenLib, whatever tools you may be using, download all those articles. Okay. And all the articles must be in a single folder. All the articles must be in a single folder. Open each article and copy and paste the abstract and conclusion alone. Copy and paste the abstract and conclusion alone. Okay. Now you can see here the reference is there. Below the reference, I'm having the abstract and conclusion attached together. Okay. See, I don't know whether I will share that also. You know how to write the abstract. So any abstract will have the first sentences will be like kind of a background information, like basic information about that work. Okay. Next will be the objective. You can find in many articles that the present study or the present work starts. Okay. Or in the study. Okay. In the present work. So these types of headings will be the sentence will be starting. So that is the objective of that research work. After 1 or 2 sentences, you can find the methodology, whether which software or which analysis or which theorem that they are going to use. So these kind of methods they will be sharing it, and then they will be sharing in a single or 2 sentences in some results. Some results, that is some of the unique results or most important results based upon the objective, they will be sharing it. And the last sentence or last before sentence will be the conclusion. This is the objective and how you are concluding it. Okay, so this is how the abstract should be, and if you are writing also, this is how you should write also. Okay, so now as I know what is the abstract, so here inside the body of the article, in every abstract, I will be not considering the background of the research work, because the first 1 or 2 sentences will be background of the research work. Just I will remove it, and about the research work, I will be starting from the in the present study, in the present work, or in some kind of sentences will be starting. Okay, like here in the second article it is like in the study, and the first article is like in the present work. Okay, the above work is above sentences were like basic informations, very basic, like kind of background information about that research work. Okay, so that sentences you need to delete it, and remaining sentences are the core work of your research work, important work of your research, that research article. Okay, you have to read that article again and again, at least for that paragraph for 2-3 times. And if you're not knowing any words or something, just learn it. Don't try to rephrase it in the first step itself. Okay, try to read it and whatever you are understanding, obviously you have done bachelor's, masters, and in your PhD just you are reading some literatures. Obviously you can understand the abstract, whatever they are planning to do, whatever they have done, they are using this technology or this theorem or this method they have done, you can understand that. Okay, even some words or something, if you are not understanding, just learn that. Okay, normally if you are doing these steps after completion of your PhD, it will be more easy, but during your PhD tenure it will be a little bit tough, but still you will be learning more number of words, you will be understanding, and you will be writing it. Okay, in the first year if you are writing the literature review part, it will be a little bit difficult, but you can do it. It is not, that doesn't mean that if you will be not able to do. And you are understanding, and you need to write down your own, it may be in a single sentence or a two three sentence. Okay, you have to write it in a crispy way, you need to write it. Now you can write a single abstract in various ways. For example, you can see the first article. Okay, the experimental investigation on magnetoelectrical damper for RCC frame subjected to cyclic loading. Okay, there are so many articles, research work will be only in that cyclic loading. So I can make a cyclic loading and I can have some 6 to 9 articles. Okay, and RCC frame, that is like normal concrete buildings. Okay, so I can make that heading, and in that concrete buildings, whatever the device has been, I can do that. That magnetoelectrical damper, they are having various similar device has various like design. Okay, I can make various headings in that. Okay, then I can make a heading with experimental investigation or analytical investigation or numerical investigation. I can make that as a heading and I can make some article. Okay. Now the first article, obviously even that is my article, so that is a purely an experimental work. Okay, if I am making a heading of experimental investigation, I will not put this article in any other headings. I will be putting that in experimental investigation only, because it doesn't have any analytical, any equations, nothing. Just purely an experimental work. Purely an experimental work. Purely an experimental work. Okay. So, as the article will be suitable to some themes. So first I have said you that we are going to write this article in a thematic way. The theme will be like, if I'm having a mobile phone that is having various number of themes, which will be like speaker, like touch screen or touch screen or fingerprint, or like a camera, battery. All these are various themes. So if I am planning to write a literature review article on this magnetoelectrical damper, means so I should have various themes. The experiment I should have like various. See, I will not making a heading of cyclic loading. I will be making a heading like loading pattern. There are various types of loading. So various article will be having various loading. See, such a way you need to separate some headings. With minimum of some 5 to 6 headings, you need to separate. So these headings may be having some subheadings. For example, you can see here the first article having RCC frame. Okay, frame is like simple frame is like kind of a concrete frame having a beam and a column. Having a beam and a column. See, every house, if you may be in some home, you can see above that you can find a beam and a column, right? So that is a frame. This is a concrete frame. Okay. Now inside that same frame heading, I can make 2 more headings. One is RCC frame, another one is steel frame. I think you have find some of the steel buildings you can find, right? In any commercial building you can find various steel buildings. So I can make like steel frame and RCC frame as a subheadings. So this is depends upon your discipline, your idea. When you are going through some of the literatures, you need to separate some 5 to 6 headings in a minimal. That's a very minimal. If you are making some 13 or 20 as many number of headings, that is no issue, because some headings may be having very few sentences, like from 3 to 4 articles alone may be there in some headings. Okay, so such a way you need to separate it. Okay, so now you are copying and pasting it. And one more thing I have not said you, that see here, all the reference whatever in having the word file should be numbered. See, all these things should be it should be numbered. Okay, and after downloading, now you can see here in desktop, I think. I think you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4. I think some 61 article is there. That's the way every article should be numbered and it should be downloaded. And here also it should be number 1, 2, 3, 4. This numbering should be there here. After this part, as I mentioned, it should be separate. Even having 60 articles, these 60 articles will be coming in a single heading, which may be like if I'm using that magnetorheological damper, under that heading, this all 60 articles come. But in specifically based upon theme, you need to separate that article. As you must go more deeper and you need to separate the article. As I mentioned, just by a single title, I have separated this, right, these headings. So if I'm reading some 60 number of articles, titles, I can get more number of subheadings, more number of themes. Themes are like kind of subheadings. Okay, like main headings, and comes under the main headings, maybe having various themes. Okay, so you need to make an Excel sheet and you need to separate it. Some headings may be having a single article, maybe like 2 articles maybe there, and some article may be like old article, like it, but it is that article may be more relevant to your research topic. Such articles should be added in the introduction part. Obviously, in the introduction part, you should have some basic informations, right? So that all should be in the introduction part. Okay. So you need to separate, try to make an Excel sheet, and what are the convenience you need to separate for separation of themes. Based upon, so for example, some articles they will be doing the analysis using ANOVA, some article will be doing the analysis maybe using SPSS, some article will be doing the data collection using some other technique, like even some Google form they are collecting data. Some researchers they collect some websites. So various researchers they use various techniques and various. It depends upon your convenience. You need to make an Excel sheet and separate that. See that finally it should be like article number 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, 1, Article 7, Article 9, Article 21, Article 36, Article 78 maybe comes under the experimental investigation. Are you getting? And remaining Article 2, Article 8, Article 21, Article 35, some 5, 6 articles maybe comes under this. Such a way you need to separate the article. Okay? Because every article will put their more effort in some headings, inside some headings. So I have said them thing right. So it's purely an experimental work. In the experimental work, it is purely an RCC framework. Okay. So I can put in that frame and in between, below the frame heading, I can put that article. There will be so many number of articles will be there. Okay. But you need to separate based upon the theme. And then when you go through various literatures, right? For example, if I am adding an article, we have seen this reference, right? We have seen this. Consider this first paragraph, the first reference. Okay. If I want to add this first reference under some headings, okay. Maybe the heading may be under the frames. Frame is the concrete frame. The beam as well as the column. I am just telling as a frame. The beam with the column I am telling just as a frame. Okay. Now, if I am having a heading name frame, okay. Inside this heading, should I add about the magnetorheological damper, or I should add the loading pattern, images? Maybe every article may be having the images about the loading pattern, cyclic loading, and every article will be having some of the images about the magnetorheological damper, or I should add an image of RCC frame. So now this heading belongs to RCC frame. So I should add only which image? The frame image. They'll be doing some testing in the lab. I will be having some schematic image, so I should add only that image alone, not other images. So based upon the heading, you should copy the image from the article and you need to paste in your article. Are you getting? There will be so many images in the article, so many figures. It doesn't mean you should add everything. Based upon the theme, you are separating it. Then, based upon every theme, based upon that theme, you will be having some good images. Because some articles they will be images maybe more poor or it will be not able to understandable. You can leave it, just leave it. Don't take much risk. What I'll be doing, I'll be based upon the theme, I'll be adding more number of images. If I'm adding some 60 articles, I'll be adding 60 images. But final, I'll be making some. This is kind of a rough draft. But finally, I'll be removing many images. If I'm having some 60 images from 60 articles, maybe some 10 images may be there. 8 to 10 images may be there, because if I'm having the article doesn't look so good, It's like it doesn't looks good. Okay, some key images that should, based upon the title of your article, such images we will feel right. Okay, based upon the title, if this image is there, it will be good. So all those other images, I will be just deleting it. Okay, so some article there may be two images. So just copy and put two images, make like A comma B, and make a border and just copy and paste it. And in the figure caption, you can mention figure A, so and so, figure B, so and so, and you can mention it. Okay. And next part is like, so you can see here like A comma B. You can see some samples, right? Now you can, as I'm showing in my screen, A comma B, and in between this sentence, maybe like you can rephrase whatever you are understanding. You can write about like 2-3 others, rephrasing, and you can make it. And based upon the theme, only certain part alone you can have it, and rest you can delete it. Other than this reporting verbs will be more important for you to connect. Like Daniel discussed, Daniel conducted, Daniel emphasized, Daniel examined, Daniel pointed out, Daniel reported that. These kind of reporting words will be useful to connect various literatures. See, if I'm having below the frame, okay, I may be having some six literatures. I see between the first and the second literatures, I should have some connections, right? So that to make the forming some kind of sentences, to make a flow of article, the article should be, when somebody is reading, it should go in some flow. To make that, these types of reporting words will be more helpful. Okay. Then the final checklist, I think this is like choosing the right topic, that is mandatory, and check the literatures whatever you have chosen. If you are choosing some sick literatures, check whether that is more relevant to your literature research book or not, and take notes while reading, because this will be helpful throughout your entire research dinner. And decide the format. Some research article, literature review article will have various formats. Like some article, maybe the figure will be written as FIGURE, same as figure. Some literature review article figure will be written as just FIG, right? Even tabulation, they are having various formats. So before writing a literature review article for a specific journal, try to download 1 or 2 literatures or literature review article even. Just download and go through it. And keep the focus specific interest. We see, try to make more specific, not kind of more broader topic. Okay, analyze more critically, and the structure should be more similar. See, if you're having some 10 themes or some 8 themes that may be having some subheadings, it should be perfectly summarized. Okay, and get this. The structure also should be right. If you want to use some flowcharts, I know in literatures in management and life science, they'll be having kind of a flowcharts, like how many number of literatures they have downloaded, how many articles they have rejected, how many it is not downloadable, how many data each and every article. For example, I may be analyzing like the stress happened to the nurses during this COVID pandemic. Okay, so some researchers may be taking some data of some 100 nurses. Some article may be taken some 50 nurses and they are analyzed. So I have to make a tabulation that this reference has taken this number of data and they have analyzed using this software. So these types of I should make a tabulation, and I can make a flow chart. So this is like I will be showing some of the sample in the future slides. Okay, and your article should be more objective, not like more broader, and based upon every article you can give some strength and weakness of every article. If you are going through my article, now you can see I have shown one article, right? Same article, I have written a proposal quite earlier. Same like for concrete, how this device's behavior is going on, and for a steel structure, how the behavior is going on. Okay, so I can write about the weakness of that article is they could have done the additional the steel also, and they can compare the behavior, all those things. But in that article, it is not available, and they can give some suggestions. Okay, see these things. If you are doing it, it will be more helpful. And even I have received message also. Thanks for citing and all those things. Okay, so try to include older studies not throughout the article, only in the introduction part. Try to make it in the introduction part. Okay, So you can see in the title of literature review will be something similar like this, like a review of a review state of art. You can see here, just you can see in Google Scholar, right? Emma Damper, state of art. I am able to find some kind of 24,500 literatures, but not that much literatures will be there. Then you can see here 40,000, review. So mostly in these two keywords, if you are searching, you can find literature review article in your topic. My topic is like Emma Damper. So I just state of art review. You can see here most of the article topic. You can see design modeling review, advancement in energy a review on, a review of, right, a review of parametric modeling, task a review, hyphen a review, and you can go through this. So this is how the titles they are making it for writing the. So you can find the difference for a normal technical paper and a literature review article. Okay. Then abstract. So here, in every literature review article, mostly the abstract will be having some many basic information. And you can see here, the first article, like around like some fifth to fifth sentence, I think this state of art paper includes the detailed literature review of. So what are the headings based upon the themes? How you have separated the article, separated the various headings that you need to add in the article, in the abstract. That must be there. Okay. And you can see some of the samples. You can see the second article is purely based upon the heading they have written. If you see the second article, that say the second abstract, the review starts with an introduction of the basics of MR fluid. So there is a heading, basic of MR fluid. The next heading, different modes, and there are different modes. So it will be like different modes of MR fluid. Then consequences with different types of MR fluid based devices. So different types of MR fluid based devices, or different types of this device, damping device. Okay, so such a way some headings are there. So based upon the heading, they have written the abstract. Okay, so that people when they are going through the abstract, they know that okay, they've done about all those, did the review on all these headings. Okay, then these types of tables will be helpful to many researchers. You can see here, the device is there, then the figure number is there, then which application, and what is the reference? What is the reference? There are two types of reference. One is alphabetical way of having the reference. Another one is numerical way of having the reference. Numerical references you can see like, in terms of citation, if you see, you can find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the introduction part, right? The citations. And if it is an alphabetical in the in-text citation, you can find it will be like Daniel et al. Bracket 2018. So this is like alphabetical way of having the citations. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the numerical way of having the citations. So here in the reference section, you can see reference, that's the alphabetical way of having the citations. Okay, so they have given that source input inside these tabulations. And again, similar table. You can find similar table. You can find. So when you are doing the literature review, for example, if you are doing a research work on some material, okay, and that material will be having various characterization study like XRD, EDAX, Raman spectroscopy, and so many material characterization study. If you are reading some 60 articles will be having various material, various composites, various size, various thickness, various results when they are doing some testings. I need to make some tabulations and I need to make it out. So that these types of table I can make it. So it will be helpful to the future researchers. Why we are writing literature article not only for publication. Okay. So it will be helpful to somebody, that's all. Okay, the future. If today I'm reading some recently published literature, I can able to find comparatively the whole part of that research work, whatever still they have done. Then you can find inside the body of the article, you can use these types of reporting words which I have shared, no, like proposed, developed, undeveloped, not significated, invented, also invented, proposed, designed, these types of. See, this is like relevant to some of my engineering background. I am just telling it. See, I think similar words also has been used in other discipline also. But if you are going through some 2, 3 literature review article in your discipline, you can able to get some more reporting words. Just copy and paste all the reporting words. This will be helpful throughout your research channel. Okay, just copy and paste in some Word file or other files. Okay. and you can make your own graphs. You can see the figure 3, just number of articles versus number of fibers. If I'm having some 100 articles, I'm just making in a Excel sheet all the number of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, some 100. Okay, and every articles they are using some fibers. Every article they are using some fibers. So I'm making like hemp, sisal, jute, pineapple, and coir. I'm just giving a tick. First number one, first article may be sisal, second article may be jute, third article may be again jute. So finally I'm making a bar chart that how many number of articles has done research on these fibers. Okay. If now we can I can go through why people have not used pineapple fibers, why many people have been choose scissor fibers, what is the advantages, and why not people taking pineapple. So this from this plot I can learn something. Such a way your graph should be. These graphs are they are making on their own, not nobody's. They are not taking from other literatures. They are making some own graphs. Even here type of study, whether it's a review study or an experimental study or a modeling or experimental plus modeling or experimental study, or even based upon the keywords they have made a chart, and based upon the properties of the material and based upon the number of publications. This is like based upon your own interest and based upon your own information, how much you are collecting in various literatures, you are able to plot these types of graphs. Okay, and this is about the conclusion. You are see, as I mentioned, you are having various number of themes. Try to have at least some kind of in various themes. You can have some kind of a single sentence or 2, 3 sentences by like kind of point by point. Okay, you can see here based upon the discussion, the final conclusion are drawn. Okay, so there are, for example, some 6 themes. In every theme, just make some 6 points and conclude it. Okay, and any images if you are taking from any literature, just use the citation. You can see here I have taken some images from this article and I have given the citations Spencer and Nagarajaya 2003 because these images belongs to them, so they should get the credit. They should get the credit. So I think this is the presentations, and just I will. So for example, this is one of the literature. Okay, recently this is one of my article. This is one of my article, a review on rheological fluid damper and its application. And one researcher has been cited. He's like from here. You can find state of art development. Sorry, one second. State of art development of bypass rheological dampers, a review. So in this article, so this is the article. And one more thing I like to share you once again. Okay, things. I think I've shared that. See, from the introduction part, here the citation is different. Alphabetical way of having the citation you can find here. Okay, in brackets, full brackets. Some articles will be in like square brackets. Sometimes here you can see the ETL is in italic. Every instance in text citations. So every article will, every publishers and every journals will be having small changes. So when you are writing, don't write an article for just write it and don't put in some articles. Okay. If I am writing an article, I will be selecting first thing is okay. If this is the article I am planning to write, this article, the journal name is Korea Australia Rheology Journal. Okay. How they are making is like, for an example, just I will go through. Okay, abstract. I will just copy and paste and I will check how many minimum number of abstract, how many they are expecting, because some journals they'll be asking 250, some journals it will be 300. It depends. Okay, so how many keywords they are having it. Okay, then how many introduction, how many paragraph they are making it. It's a minimal. Just I will go through it. Okay, then figure 1 they are making and they have given the citation in bracket, right? Janssen 2010, and here they mention in bracket color online. Okay, so those figures want to have in color, they have mentioned that So you can see here like this sentence. You can just I will just so you can see here Zhu et al, Rahman et al, Yuan et al, and O Choi. Okay, 2019 which means in the same year Choi has like two or three more like more than one publication. Okay, so if you see somewhere Choi 2019 B also will be there. 2019 B also will be there. Okay, so you can see here reviewed. They have reviewed. So next here you can see here studied, and here you can see developed. Okay, it doesn't mean that every time you need to use the same. You can see here the operation of conventional, and they have written about them, and finally they have just cited it. They have not put their names and all those things. Okay, then we are as based upon the theme. Similar way, you also need to separate some headings, and you need to write that. So whatever the figure you are taking it, you must give the citation. You can see all the images, and here you can see like table 1, making some criteria, classification, some reference. Then again table 2, and various cities. Here you can see like in civil infrastructure, even there are researchers from mechanical disciplines, and like two even like I'm Daniel C. My name like Daniel C. and Cruz D. both are same. So 2 of my articles they have cited for civil infrastructure. And then you can see all the images they mentioned, color, online. Some journals they don't add these things, okay, color or online, all those things. So they depends upon the journal. So you need to go through. So you can see your subheadings. Like 4 is the heading. For example, see here. 4 is bypass MR dampers. Okay. So 4.1 is classification. Then 4.2 is working principles. 4.3 is applications. 4.4 is operational modes. Then again 5 classification of bypass MR dampers. Internal bypass. See how they are separating it. In such a way, you also need to separate based upon the theme. And each, for example, if I am doing some research work on, consider an example of mobile phone. Okay, so I said various themes like speaker, touch screen, all those things. So you're taking speaker. So inside the speakers, how many number of sound waves? Then the magnets. What is the magnetic force? So each and everything, as we are going deeper, we will get various number of themes. Okay, such a way you need to separate the headings, and you need to write it. It may be like single sentence, it may be 2-3 sentences. It depends how much you understand from that work and you are writing on it own. Okay. The reference are more here, like this article. Okay, so tomorrow we will be seeing, I think more. This is the full talk of the literature review. Tomorrow we will be seeing some of the tools like how to make this literature review work a little bit easier. So tomorrow the session will be like not 7 to 8 p.m. So it has been postponed to 4 to 5 p.m. It is postponed to 4 to 5 p.m. So I will be dropping a separate mail to all the participants. So the session is postponed to 4 to 5 p.m. Okay. So whatever query you are having it, just you can put those query in the chat box or just unmute and shoot your queries. You can ask your queries.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Sir, that was a nice presentation, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Sir, you have said we need to see some 60 journals, sir. From 3 good journals, we can see 3 into 20 references.
No. Why I said that is some researchers will be telling that relevant to my research work, I am not able to find any article. See, obviously you will be finding some relevant literatures. Obviously you will be getting some relevant literatures because, sir, actually we are searching only in Google Scholar.
Yeah.
There are more number of search engines. Even Web of Science, you can Web of Science search option is there.
Okay.
Scopus search option is there.
Yes, sir.
And Science Direct search option is there. Every journal or every publishers they have a search options, and there
Okay.
are other tools like academic network like Academia, ResearchGate. Even in Arcade you can search whether literatures are there or not. Even Mendeley you can search the literatures. There are so many like even Microsoft is there. Then PubMed. So many abstracting and indexing website. If you go, you can search and you can find relevant literatures. But people mostly will be searching only in Google Scholar first, and Google Scholar sometimes see the highly cited literatures will be in the first in Google Scholar, and next one it will be going back. If you are getting a single article, for example, sir, I am answering to your query, or
Yes, sir. I'm listening.
I'm just
Correct.
I will show you, sir.
Okay.
For example, if I am this, okay, 1 second, sir. For example, I am just typing. I'm putting some keywords. So you can see many like based upon highly cited and more number of people having this article. Like if you see, if I click this related article,
Sir.
so these are all more related to this article. Okay.
Okay.
Next, if I click this cited by articles, so that article is cited by this much number of articles.
Okay.
So it may be like single article. So if I just scroll on, because here it is like more cited articles will be there. Just I go to some like some 7th page. For example, if this is maybe the article, even that is my article. So it is cited by 8 researchers. So when I click this 8, I'll be knowing like okay, these are also researchers. They are doing research in my area. So this work is also little bit at least relevant to my research work.
Okay.
And there may be a single article may be more relevant. If you go through that article, I can find, I'm telling the minimum that 20 reference will be there, and I can read various titles. Sometimes I may able to find the literature.
Okay.
In case if you are not able to find some literature relevant to your topic, you can send me the title, sir. I will try to find some.
Okay, sir.
In some topic, people they are telling me, yeah.
Sure. I'll text you, sir, now.
Yes, sir.
But can you, if you don't mind, can you find me the topic on bacterial concrete, sir?
Just 1 second, sir. One second.